I found three almost haunted. I say almost because it's debatable, but three almost haunted places in a small English town. Weston Super Mare. Where is it? Stay tuned. And welcome back to the Bric-a-Brac shop. This is the portal to the paranormal, the spiritual, and the unexplained. And I'm Tom from the shop, and welcome back to another episode. I just recently did an episode about Bristol and some of the haunted places while I was on my journey to Weston Super Mare. Now that is a small seaside town on the west coast of England. It's about 18 miles from Bristol, a bit longer in the car. The road's just under 29 kilometers if you're using metric. Now, there's always been people living in that area, even from the Iron Age, and that's a very long time ago. But it was always a seaside village until about the 1800s, when it actually grew to become a seaside town, as in place where people would come for the summer months, and there'll be amusements all along the beachfront there. And also transport had improved so they could get away. So it became a seaside village, a bit like a lot of other places like Blackpool or Brighton in the UK, and in the US maybe Coney Island or even the Atlantic Broadwalk, similar sort of places. And it was very popular in the 1800s. And so I actually went there for a particular function that I was there for. And I thought I'd have a look around. Now, speaking to some of the locals, I actually found out, well, I'm sure there's probably more because it is an old town. Now, don't forget, if you enjoy this episode, press the like button and subscribe, and click the bell and the notification so you won't miss out for my other episodes. Now, what I found from Weston Super Mare is that naturally, since people went there in the summer months for fun, amusement, the beach, there was the Fun Pier, or officially the Grand Pier. Now, that opened back in 1904. However, it did burn down twice. Burned down in 1930 and then later in 2008. And on both occasions have obviously been rebuilt. And we can see it here as being quite a place to go to with rides, food stalls, and amusements. However, as I said, Weston Super Mare was a place of attraction from the 1800s, and so there was another pier before that, which is the one that I've been told that people have always felt a bit strange around, or a bit creepy. They've always felt something, let's say, and that is Burnbeck Pier, or as people now call the Old Pier, because it was there since 1867. It connected the mainland to Burnbeck Island, and Burnbeck Island was actually on a small causeway because you could actually walk to it on low tide. And so they built the bridge over this causeway. Actually was destroyed a few times, and so isn't actually the same sort of pier that it was in 1867. In fact, it's more now like a bridge. It was also used as a dock for ships to come in, bringing people to Weston Super Mare for the summer months. It also had amusement places on the pier, and it also had an extra pier added to it, so ships could come in into the deeper waters to unload the goods and also for passengers to board and disembark. Now, during the war, it was actually used by the Navy for them to develop their weapons. And after the war, it opened again to the public, but however, it never was as popular as it was before, with the locals and the tourists saying it was just too far from the city centre. And so it finally closed in 1979. And as you can see, it actually become quite derelict. The floorboards are looking quite quite unsafe. And in fact, it's even listed on the Buildings at Risk register. But with such a history, naturally you would think there'd be some energies connected with it, or paranormal activity going on. And people have said when they've been around it that it does feel a bit creepy. Now, I was there just before sunset, and although I didn't feel strange or anything like that, I probably could understand what people would feel. Although I must say, further along the road, there is the forest, which I'll tell you more about that shortly. Now, the second haunted place that I was told about is the toll road. Now, if you're a local around Weston Super Mare, you'll know that the toll road is Stoke Road, taking you from Weston Super Mare to Stoke. And originally, it used to be a toll road where you had to pay to actually drive along the road. Of course, it's now open to the public and it's free. And it's a single lane road on each side, with a considerable long drop on the side. As you've seen, I'm walking along here, and sometimes cars have actually just gone off the road. Now, some people have said there's been some paranormal situation which has caused cars to drive off the road, but maybe they were just tired and fell asleep at the wheel, or some strange things have happened. So with people that have died from the accidents, sometimes it could be their energy that is still around the place. And definitely there is the ghost driver that someone was saying, that people have noticed cars driving up behind them and then disappearing, because they'll see their lights at the night skies driving up behind them, and they'll go around the corner and it's gone. And as you can see along this road, it's a long windy road without many turnoffs, if any, on the main road. So it's all a bit weird. Now, I was going to walk along the road a lot further than where I had walked. I'd been quite interested to walk to Stoke, which I probably could have, but it was getting late. And as you've noticed, there is no street lights on this road. There's no footpaths, and that, I realise, is basically they don't want pedestrians on the road either, because up the hill there's a little track, a little trail that you can walk through the woods running parallel to the road. And so I decided to cross over and go up this little pathway. And then it was out of the blue came this fairy carriage. What was happening? Did I go into a time slip or something? Totally out of the blue. Was this a time slip? But I did see it later on in town, so it was obviously a real tourist carriage. So I went up the hill. But it was getting a bit dark, and underneath the trees, through that forest there, it was getting darker. So I decided to head back. And I kept going back, and very interesting thought had crossed my mind. Because as I was passing the woods, it did feel a bit eerie. And then I noticed my camera, the camera batteries, was nearly empty. It could be a coincidence. I had been using the camera a lot that day, but now thinking about it, it's a bit strange that they were becoming to be drained and I was losing the power in my camera. But I had still enough power to film the forest, as you can see right here. It was, it's quite picturesque. In fact, in a way, it sort of like reminds me of the Blair Witch Project. But if it was daytime, I might have even gone off track and gone walking through the forest. But it was getting dark, so I wanted to get back because there was no light. And once my camera, which is in my phone, died, I'd have no flashlight either. So I wanted to hurry back. But the feeling I was getting was very much like the feeling I was getting in Guernsey, which is quite a different, strange sort of feeling. And it's all right once you understand that feeling. It was a bit of a strange, eerie feeling. And then this thing just came through my mind that since it was like all the legends that you hear, the night comes, the twilight, and all the spirits and the fairies come out. And I remember as I was walking through on that track, looking at the forest, I was thinking, it's twilight. All the fairies and the wood nymphs are coming out. And I thought that's maybe what I was picking up on, because it was something similar sort of thing that I was picking up in Guernsey. And so I thought, if that's the case, I've got nothing to be scared about. So I just hurried back before I'd lose the light and wouldn't be able to find my way back. And so I managed to get back to the beginning of the track and the road before it went on its narrow journey. And it was a few minutes later, and then my phone actually died, ran out of battery. But that is the toll road, where they say a few paranormal activity happens. Now, the third place, which I've been actually told, which is completely in the opposite direction, was Weston General Hospital, which is the hospital in Weston Super Mare. Now, I've been told there is a bit of paranormal activity. And for those of you who are around the area or going into Weston General Hospital, I'd say there's nothing to be scared of. In fact, I think it's probably quite natural. And yes, don't be scared. And then this is only hearsay, if you want to hear. But apparently, in the morgue, which is off limits to the public, the staff have noticed people walking around, like the receptionist there. They would see someone walk in and because it's not open to the public, they'd go after them to ask them, what are they doing here? Can we help you? Are you lost? And they'd go around the corner and they'd disappeared. There's been a few accounts of that, and well, what do you make out of that? So that's all I'll say on that. But I think there's lots of stories where energies have been left in hospitals. And I'm not saying that it's all bad. I'm just saying it's probably a natural process of life. So those have been the three main spots that I've been told about paranormal activity in Weston Super Mare. And it's a very fun town. I was there for a couple of days, and I had a good time looking around. It wasn't the peak of the hot summer days, summer months, so it wasn't crowded with people enjoying the hot weather. But the good point, there wasn't any crowds. And very strangely, though, I must say that the beach around there is actually brown, as in the water. I have not seen a water so brown on a beach before. And apparently it's the geological rocks in the ocean, in the beds there, that creates that brown look of the water. Makes you wonder if you'd actually want to go into the beach, even during a hot summer's day, with the sea not looking blue or green, but looking brown. But that was Weston Super Mare. Quite a nice place to visit, and it'd be a nice place to visit over a weekend during the hot summer months. Or if you're with someone cozy in a nice, warm, cozy room, maybe with a fire and drinking a nice glass of wine or hot chocolate, maybe. Anyway, have you been to Weston Super Mare? Have you heard anything about it or any other paranormal activities there? Do write your comments below. And as I've mentioned before, if you've found this episode interesting, please tell your friends and share the video. Let them know, and click the like button and subscribe and press the bell and the notification button, and that way you won't miss out. You'll always get my videos. And also, if you've enjoyed this episode, you can always buy me a drink. The link is below. It's very appreciative if you can help the channel and help me, and it'll keep us going a little bit longer. And we also have a few links below, and you can have a browse around and have a look at our online spiritual shop that we are affiliated with, the Psychic Tree. It's the UK's #1 spiritual shop, reasonably priced, reasonable worldwide shipping, and also there's 10% off your first order. So have a look at that as well, and our other links down below. So on that, I've hoped you've enjoyed this episode, and you'll be around for my next one. So until then, stay well and happy.